Hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Ashish here, and today I'll be covering a Sudoku variant on our channel. So this is the hybrid Sudoku called Clone Fortress Sudoku. This Sudoku is constructed by SudoKanard, and I really thank the author for giving me an opportunity to cover a video on our channel. So this Sudoku was featured on the LMI Puzzle Expo, and I solved this Sudoku, and I must say this is a really an excellent Sudoku, a tough one, not an easy one I would say, but there is a particular logic that I really loved about this Sudoku, and that actually solved this Sudoku very fast. So it was really an excellent Sudoku, and it was posted on LMI Puzzle Expo. Really good interface to solve Sudokus and puzzles, and even upload your own. So many solvers or many authors actually upload their own Sudoku and puzzles on that Puzzle Expo, and other solvers solve that Sudoku or a puzzle and give the ratings, and even you can compare the timings. It's an excellent platform, I would say. You can even watch the replay of top solvers. How do they solve? What is the particular logic or the step that they have solved a particular Sudoku. That's a really an excellent feature. So before going to this Sudoku, I would highly recommend you to please subscribe to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles if you haven't done so. It will really motivate us to cover videos on regular basis. And if at all you have a request for any Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, you can let us know in the comment below, and we'll surely make a video on it. And now coming back to this Sudoku, classic Sudoku rules apply. You need to place digits from 1 to 9 in each row, each column, and 3 into 3 box without repetition, right? Apart from that, you have some clone shapes in the grid. So this shape and this shape is same, right? Which means the numbers would have to be exactly same in the same places. So if you have a 1 here, you would have a 1 here. If you have a 2 here, you will have a 2 here. You have these also as clone shapes. So whatever you have here would have to be here and here as well. So these are clone shapes, right? This is one of the rule, and the other rule is that all the shaded cells will be greater than all the adjacent non-shaded cells. The number in the shaded cell will always have to be greater than the adjacent non-shaded cells, right? So this cell would have to be greater than these three cells, not this cell, right? This is not required. It has to be greater than the non-shaded cells adjacent, which are adjacent to it, right? With that, we will start solving this Sudoku. If you watch closely, there are only given 1 to 6, 7, 8, 9 is not given, which means the fortress constraint, that is the adjacent cell being greater than the non-adjacent cells, adjacent non-shaded cells will have to be lesser, right? That constraint will help you get 7, 8 and 9. So let's see if we are able to solve this Sudoku or not again. It had a very good logic, I would say, and that logic was really amazing. So let's start this Sudoku. Okay, so if you see here, none of these 4 cells can be 9, because then we'll have something greater than 9 in the shaded cells. So which means one of the 9s would have to be here, which means if 9 is here, right, this would have to be a 9. Sorry, if 9 is here, this would have to be a 9, and if 9 is here, this would have to be a 9. So whatever be the case, one of these two cells is also a 9, right? The other thing that I saw was these cells. If you see here, these cells cannot have 1, cannot have 2 or 3. Can it have a 4? Okay, it can still have a 4, I think. This cannot have a 4, and neither can this have a 4. So it cannot have a 4 as well. Okay, and it cannot have a 5. 5 is possible, right? It cannot have a 6, because 6 is eliminated from here and here. So it is 5, 7, 8 and 9, right? Now, okay, so whatever you have here would have to be here, and that would give you here as well. So it is 5, 7, 8 and 9, and this is a 5 or this is a 5. Okay, of course, if you see this classic rules, 6 cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here in any of these cells, so this is a 6. And if you have a if you have adjacent cell which is non-shaded, then the shaded cell would have to be greater, so which is means it cannot be a 5 as well. So none of these cells can be 5. Now comes the best part of this Sudoku. I am directly going to the logic that is I feel should be an intended logic. That's an excellent piece of logic here. You know that one of these two cells would have to be 9, because 9 cannot be on the cells near to an shaded cell, non-shaded cells, in the non-shaded cells near to a shaded cell, right? Because then the shaded cell would have to be greater, so 9 would have to be in one of these two cells. Whatever be the case, one of these two cells would have to be a 9, and which means if this cell is a 9, both of these cells cannot be 9, right? Sorry, this cell and this cell, which means both of these cells cannot be 9. If this is a 9, right, this would be 9, which means both of these cells cannot be 9. So whatever be the case, 9 cannot be on the these shaded cells, because either this cell or this cell is a 9, right? And in both the cases, 9 gets eliminated from both of these cells. So if this is a 9, this cell and this cell is not a 9, and if this is a 9, this cell and this cell is not a 9, and whatever be the case, 9 gets eliminated from all of these cells, so these cells are not 9, right? Amazing, you got a 7 8 pair in these cells. Now again an excellent piece of logic. Again I would say, what can you have here? What is the possible digit here? You cannot have 1, you cannot have 2, neither you can have a 3, because then you'll have 1 2 in these 3 cells, not possible. You cannot have a 4, neither you can have a 5 or a 6. So this possibility here is 7 8 or a 9, which is this 7 8 or a 9, right? Now if you see this, these two 7 8s are different. Both of these 7 8s are of different color. So let me mark here, if these are blue color, these would be other color, and this cell is seeing both blue and yellow color simultaneously, which means this cell cannot be 7 or 8, it would have to be a 9, and that gives you a 9 here. This is not a 9, this is not a 9. What an amazing piece of logic this was. Now why this logic has helped is, if you see this cell now, what can be here? You cannot have 1 2 3. Of course you can have 4, you cannot have 5 6, you cannot have 7 and 8, because this cell is also seeing both of different 7 and 8s together, and this cell cannot be 9 because this cell is already a 9. So the only possibility here is 4, and that gives you a 1 3 here. This is 3, that is 1, that again gives you a 4, you get a 1 2 here and a 7 8 here. What an amazing piece of logic this was, that actually helped us complete this Sudoku. This was the main piece of logic, and with this you can actually complete this Sudoku. Let's see. Okay, I have written a 4 here. If I have 4 here, this would have to be a 1. If I have a 4 here, this can be anything. Okay, both 9 cannot be here, so 9 is in one of these two cells, excuse me, so which means 9 is in one of these two cells. This is 3 here, it would be 2. If this is 3 here, now this cell would have to be a 3. Okay, and which means this would have to be a 4. Classic rules, only place for 4 in column 3, and which means this would have to be a 1, that gives you a 2 and a 1, right? And that gives you a 1 here, You cannot have a 2 here. 2, 5 and a 6 you need. 6 cannot be here. This is 2 and a 5. 5 and a 6. 2, 5 and a 6. Right? That gives you a 1 here. 1 cannot be on the shaded cell. 1 would have to be here. That gives you a 1 here. Okay, 4, 5 and 9. So this is 5 and 9. 4, 5 and 9. 4, 5 and 9. None of these cells can have a 5 because you will need something lesser than 5 in non-shaded cells, and which is not possible. 1, 2, 3, 4 all are used, so 5 would have to be in one of these two cells. Okay, 6 cannot be here, cannot be here. 6 is in one of these two cells, right? If this is a 6, you will need a 2, 5, 2, 3, 4 here, possible. Excuse me. Am I missing something? I think so. 6 cannot be here, cannot be here. Okay, 3 cannot be here. 3 cannot be here because you need a 2 here, not possible. 3 cannot be here, you already have a 4 here, so the only place for 3 is this cell, and which means 3 cannot be here, cannot be here. 3 is here, this would have to be a 2. Okay, one of the 3's would have to be here. None of these cells can be 9, so 9 would have to be in one of these two cells. So this cell is not a 9, we got a 9 here because we know one of these two cells is a 9, and that gives you a 9 here. Okay, so this is 5, 7 and a 7, 8, and this is 5, 7 and 8. You have a 7, 8 pair here in this column, in this row, so this is nothing but 2, 5 and 6. So this is 5, 6, 2, 5, and 2 cannot be on the shaded cell, 5 cannot be, so this would have to be a 6. That gives you 5 and a 2 here. Wow. 6, 7 and 8. This is not a 6, so this is 7 and 8, and that gives you a 6 here. You have a 7, 8 pair, so this is 5. You have a 7, 8 pair here as well, so this is 3, 4, 6 and 5. 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 3, 4. This would have to be a 9, only place for 9 in box 2. This is again 3, 4. So 3, 4 and a 2. Oh, this we got a 6, so this would also have to be a 6. I missed to mark that. And this is a 5. This is 7, 8 pair here again. So this cell cannot be an 8 because of course the shaded cell would have to be greater. So this is 7, that is 8, and we got all our 7 and 8s. Wow, that is amazing. 8, 7 and 8 and a 7. That gives you 8, 7, 7 here, 8 and a 7, and 8 and a 6, and this is 4 and a 3. Wow, wow, this is getting solved so easily, guys. That particular logic was so amazing to see, really. 3, 8 and 5. This cell cannot be an 8 because of course it would be lesser than 7, so this is 3, 5 and 8, so 5, 8, and 7 and a 5, so 5 and a 7. This is 4, that is 7, 3 and a 4, 3 and a 2, 6, 5 and a 4, this is 2 and this is 5, that is 9, and that gives you a 9 here, and 3 and 2, right? So 2 and a 3, oh not 3 and a 2, I'm sorry, 2 and 8, so this is 2 and 8, 5 and 9, right? So this is 5 and a 9, and this is 4 and 8, sorry. Wow, with this we complete this amazing variant hybrid called clone fortress Sudoku. If you see here, that particular logic was not easy to see. What an amazing placement of clone and fortress in such a way that you had to eliminate and form a triplet and then a pair, and then you get a 4 here. That was really a beauty of this Sudoku. The way these two constraints have made it possible, fortress and clone, the idea behind this Sudoku is really hats off to the author. So thanks a lot SudoKanard for such a wonderful Sudoku. I really enjoyed this Sudoku. The moment I solved it, I was like amazed and fascinated by the logic, and I really wanted to cover a video on this one. I wanted it to show how logic, how handcrafted Sudokus are, and these kind of logics are not seen by computers. So thanks a lot SudoKanard for this wonderful Sudoku. I hope you all enjoyed this Sudoku. Do like and comment if you want us to solve any other Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.